The SOG PowerPint has some amazing features, but overall, I'm just disappointed with the quality of this tool. It's very tiny. You can see here next to the original Leatherman PST that I got for a really good price because some horrible person wrote Papyrus on here and laser etched it in there. Um, but you can see here, it's very small. This is a small tool to begin with, and this one is even smaller. Next to our Leatherman Surge, it's even smaller. When we have it open here, compared to the Leatherman PST, all the handle tools are outside accessible, which we love that, and all tools are locking. Okay, so here's the knife, and it locks into place. There's two ways to unlock it. We have this black unlock button here that when you push in, allows you to unlock it. Or when it's locked, you can take any other tool out and that helps unlocking. So with the knife, there's a super scientific paper test that everybody loves that I think is okay. So it comes relatively sharp. So next we have the awl. So let's see how it does here. So it digs a nice hole. This small slotted / flathead screwdriver. And they call this the jewelry driver. Apparently there's supposed to be another slotted flathead screwdriver as one of the 18 functions that this tool has, but I don't know which other tool is supposed to be. Next we have gut hook or the line cutter, which I have some very small line here that I wonder if it will work on. Let's see here. Oh, geez. No. It frayed it a little bit, but it didn't cut it here. And that's what I expected. It's actually not sharp. It's not a very good tool. So we have the three-sided file. We have our crosscut file here, which, let's see here. That's some galvanized steel, and it did a little bit here on the crosscut, which is the most aggressive. All of these tools so far, I think it's important to notice that they all feel really, they don't feel very confidence-inspiring. So on our next side, we have the serrated blade, which isn't very sharp at all. I have this, which is just the covering of some paracord, and it barely cut through that. So I guess it could be sharpened, but again, the material just feels so flimsy. All of the material on this, except for the plier head, just feels absolutely flimsy. Our next tool here is the can opener, which I have no use for, and I feel like 90% of the people buying this tool have no use for a bottle cap lifter anymore, so I think that's kind of pointless. Our next tool is a Phillips screwdriver, which is a pretty decent screwdriver actually. It's the thickest tool that they give us. We have our bottle cap lifter, which again is another one of those tools that's kind of useless. It's so easy to open up a bottle cap lifter with a multi-tool in several different ways that you don't actually need a dedicated bottle cap lift. And finally we have the scissors. Now the scissors are really hard to get out. When they're out, they lock just like every other tool, and they cut pretty decently. Like right at the very tip, you can see here, it cuts no problem. So there's nothing wrong with the scissors per se, but again, it's this metal that they use just feels really flimsy and very easy to break this tool. Like, that's what it feels like. And then before I put it away, on the inside of these lips on these tools, there's a little tiny bit of a burr. And that doesn't really impact much of the tools except for the scissors. So one of the easiest ways to pull out the scissors, because this is so hard on my pair, is I would reach in here. But as you do that, the scissors actually catch on that burr. There's a few extra ones that are just absolutely useless. First of all, we have the ruler along here that has so many missing markers that it's just completely and utterly useless for the most part. We have the protractor, which you'll see the little lines right here and right here on the frame, and they're supposed to tell you where the marker is, but honestly it just kind of doesn't really tell you anything really that you couldn't discern with your own eyes. Next up we have the little lanyard hole, which if you want to put a lanyard on, that's great. And we also have the pocket clip, which a lot of people really like pocket clips, and this is a great pocket clip. So let's actually open up the handles there, and let me show you here something. There's a lot of flex in these handles because they're actually two separate pieces held together by bolts on each end. So of course there's going to be some flex in them, which is why I wish that the metal quality felt a little bit better. Here's a Banana Force scale. Please subscribe. Now let's talk about one of the best features on here, which is this bit driver. Okay, you can see here I have number 2 Phillips bit driver. Inside there's a little magnet, and you're supposed to insert it there so that it's up against the magnet, and when you put down, when you squeeze down, it really holds it in there. Like, there's a lot of really good tension, especially when you use it with longer bits here. You can really get a lot of good distance. Another thing I like about it is that it actually is still compatible with the Leatherman ratchet driver. And then finally we have the pliers. These are compound leverage needle nose pliers. It has a curved jaw section in the needle nose, and it also has 2 wire cutters here. It has the hard at the very bottom here, and then the soft, which is the rest of it. I have some 18 gauge galvanized wire, and we use that on the hard wire cutter, and it cuts it no problem. Probably could use it. Here's some 14 gauge wire. I doubt this will work, but let's try it. Oh, it actually cuts 14 gauge wire, galvanized steel wire, no problem. There's also wire crimpers, which are at the bottom. I really like how the pliers and the bit holder works, but then the rest of the multi-tool is just, it feels so cheap, and I really wanted to love this multi-tool, but ultimately, I dislike it. So many people love this tool. There are countless reviews singing its praises, but I just don't like it. And you know, it's okay to be disliked. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. The most important thing is that you like yourself. Thanks for watching.